Good morning, dear ham friends and shortwave listeners of Pune Amateur Radio Club. Let me introduce myself first. I am Dr. Shanmugam. My call sign is VU2CSM Charlie Sierra Mike and my QTH is Chennai. I am an ex-employee of Indian Overseas Bank. I joined the bank in 1979 and took voluntary retirement in the year 2001 after serving the bank for 22 years. The reason for quitting? My passion towards science. Right from my school days, I was deeply involved in science, especially in the subject chemistry. It's because of my school master, Mr. Venkatesan, who taught the subject in an unforgettable way. Of course, I love physics too. After a long gap of 20 years, I joined for the post-graduation, and after another long gap of 11 years, I joined the Department of Chemistry at Anna University, Chennai for my PhD work in the year July 2011 and obtained my doctorate degree in December 2018. I worked in the same department for one semester as a guest faculty. I got my ticket in 1987 and for a few years I could not come on the air because I did not have any rig, and also I could not choose between HF and VHF. Then I came to know about a VHF rig called Dick Smith from Australia. Actually, it is not a full-fledged rig, but one has to assemble it. All the components, PCB, cabinet, do-it-yourself instruction manual, everything will come in one bundle. The do-it-yourself instruction manual gives step-by-step instructions as to how to go about assembling the rig. Along with me, there were 5 more ham friends, and we all imported the kits from Australia. I must mention here the great help extended to us by our friend, old man VU2 Delta Papa November Deepan, who assembled all the rigs, and it took almost 10 days to get the job done. I remember it was the year end and the new year was fast approaching. We wanted our voices to come on the air exactly at the commencement of the new year, that is 31st December, midnight, 12 o'clock. We were working very hard and the assembled rigs were sent to VU2 Papa Oscar Papa Pratap from Bangalore for aligning and proper tuning, and all the tested rigs came back to Chennai. Only few days were left. We had to fabricate antennas, look for cable and power supply. Again, Deepan helped us to procure all those things, and the easy to make J-pole antenna was quickly designed and the rigs were installed in our QTHs. We didn't even know how to operate the VHF rig with a thumb wheel switch setup. Deepan trained all of us. We were eagerly waiting for the time on the 31st December midnight. Exactly at 12 o'clock, a special midnight net was conducted in Madras, and Deepan was the net controller. When he called me, I replied, VU2 Delta Papa November, this is VU2 Charlie Sierra Mike. You are 519. QRU for the net 73. Yes, our voices floated in the air, and that was our maiden transmission. I could recall the thrill and excitement we all had on that day, and from then on, it goes on and on. The VHF population in Madras city suddenly increased, and now let me come to the main theme of today's talk. Beyond the fundamental requirements of food and shelter, man has another basic need: to communicate with other members of the society. This communication may take different forms and use different means, but basically it involves the art of transmitting information. The evolution of modern telecommunication system is the result of many scientists and technologists in the past. One among the modern telecommunication systems is the amateur radio or ham radio, which involves the use of radio waves for global communication without wires. Though advanced technologies are in existence today, accessibility to a common aspiring man is still a problem. And to sort out this issue, amateur radio provides a helping hand. Unfortunately, even today, many of us are not aware of this hobby, and this talk probably would throw some light as to how this hobby could be taken to youngsters, especially in schools and colleges, through a program called the School on Air, so that they can also become licensed amateur radio operators and contribute to the welfare of the society as well as to their personal benefit. I am closely associated with a science club called Federation of Science Clubs of Tamil Nadu, shortly called FSCT. We have common friends from FSCT and Madras Amateur Radio Society MARS. Both FSCT and MARS decided to organize a joint program for the mutual benefit of popularizing science and ham radio among the student community. It was a coincidence that the World Telecommunication Day was also approaching. Both FSCT and MARS decided to celebrate World Telecommunication Day in the year 1989 well in advance on 14th May itself, though the actual day falls on 17th May. And friends from both organizations sat together, chalked out plans, and thus emerged the concept called the School on Air. In fact, we didn't even name it, and we simply wanted to celebrate it jointly among the members of both the clubs. It was the English daily, The Hindu, which gave the title The School on Air. I remember and thanked The Hindu because it gave an advance curtain raiser on 12th May itself about the program giving the title The School on Air, brought to the notice of the general public on 14th May by publishing the information under the engagements column, and the next day, that is on 15th May, published a detailed report covering all the aspects of the program in the first page itself, giving the title Their Lessons Came with the Wind. Nothing wrong in remembering and thanking The Hindu once again today for their excellent press report and support. The modus operandi was like this. Both FSCT and MARS discussed and selected 7 centers, namely Tiruvattriyur, Saligramam, Anakaputtur, Pudivakam, Vadapalani, IIT Madras, and Triplicane. These centers cover about 70% of the area in and around Chennai. The Triplicane Center was actually the ENT clinic of Dr. M. Kumaresan, who was kind enough to have the inauguration function at his clinic. This was our control center from where the whole event was organized, inaugurated, monitored, and controlled. Old man Deepan, way to Delta Papa November, took charge of this center, and he was ably assisted by fellow hams. Old man Veera Raghavan, VU3 Victor Echo Echo, treasurer of FSCT, formally inaugurated the program from this center. Old man A. Mohan Raj, VU2 Alpha Mike Juliet, officer in charge, International Monitoring Station, Madras, was the chief guest, and he delivered the presidential address in which he highlighted the role played by hams during natural calamities and further said that the school on air type of program was a novel way of popularizing and propagating both science and ham radio among school students. Dr. T. Subramaniam, Senior Scientific Officer, Chemistry Department at the IIT Madras, said in his speech that the program aimed at developing a scientific temper among the students. About 500 school students who participated in the maiden attempt sat glued to their seats at the 6 centers listening to the talks. Experts addressed the students from the 6 locations using VHF equipment for about 10 to 15 minutes. After each talk was over, participants from any of the 6 centers can shoot out their questions to which the speaker will reply. The talks in Tamil were on the topics science in everyday life, electronics and its applications, vegetation and its uses, medicinal values, chemistry and its uses, and general hygiene. At the Saligramam Center, the speaker was Dr. V. V. Subramaniam, Professor of Botany, Vivekananda College, Mylapore, Chennai, and the students of Ramalinga Mission Middle School participated in the program organized by Kadiroli Science Club, which is an affiliated club of FSCT. At the IIT Center, the Subramania Bharati Science Club conducted the program in which the speaker was Dr. S. Subramaniam, head of the Regional Sophisticated Instrumentation Center, shortly called RSIC, IIT Madras. Students of Vanavani Matriculation School, which is inside the campus of IIT, participated. Dr. P. Sampath, Professor of Botany, Nandanam Arts College, was the speaker at the Thiruvattiur Center, where the students of Sri Ram Dayal Kemka Vivekananda Vidyalaya participated. This center is in the northern part of Chennai, and the Thiruvattiur Science Club took charge of coordinating the events. Myself, VU2 Charlie Sierra Mike, and old man Krishna Kumar, VU2 India Kilo Kilo, were the station operators at this center. The Pujyam Science Club conducted the school on air program at Triplicane, in which the speaker was Dr. M. Kumaresan, an ENT specialist. This center also acted as the main control center from where the whole program was formally inaugurated and controlled. V2 Delta Papa November, Deepan, took charge of the whole affairs from this center along with FSCT friends. Dr. Ramamani, Professor of Chemistry, Qaide Millat Arts College, was the speaker at the Puridivakkam Center, and the event was conducted by the MHSS Higher Secondary School Science Club. At Anakaputtur, Dr. Rukmani, PG teacher at St. Teresa's Higher Secondary School, was the speaker, and the program was conducted by the Balaji Nagar Alpha Science Club. That is how the school on air program was conceived and staged. I must place on record and thankfully remember the services rendered by our fellow hams. VU2 CRN, Charlie Romeo November, Rajendran, handle CR. VU2 Sera Echo Kilo, Selva Kumar, handle Selvam. VU2 India Golf Sera, Saravana Kumar, handle Charan. VU2 Tango Sera Juliet, Rangarajan, handle Ranga. VU2 Zulu Quebec Juliet, Shankar, handle Shankar. VU2 Delta Zulu Delta, Bala Subramanian, handle Balu. VU2 Golf Kilo Mike, Kalyana Sundaram, handle GK. VU2 Alpha Papa Papa, Patrick Rudolphus, handle Patrick, and many more. I'm sorry, I could not remember many of our friends because of about 3-4 decades nearly. We all had one thought, and that helped to carry out the programs successfully. Soon after the first School on Air program staged at Chennai, FSCT organized one more at Kadalur. The NSAT Science Club at Kadalur, which is an affiliated club of FSCT, was asked to organize the program. It was a 4-in-1 program: science exhibition, aero modeling, night sky watching through telescopes, and telecommunication through ham radio were in our agenda. The chief guest for the program was the officer in charge of Russian Consulate General Office in Chennai. Rakal Chandraswamy, a Swamiji, brought his big telescope to the school ground where the function was held and showed the planets and constellations to the school students and to the general public. From our side, we installed 5 VHF stations in and around Kadalur and conducted the School on Air program. Subsequently, Mr. Krishnamurthy, the key person looking after the non-formal education scheme in the State Resources Center, shortly called SRC, Government of Tamil Nadu, came to know about the School on Air program and brought it to the knowledge of the then director, Mr. Ranjana Das. SRC wanted similar program to promote non-formal education, and with their support, our VHF team visited Madurai. The Madurai Kamaraj University was the main control center, and about 7 to 8 villages at the outskirts of Madurai city were the sub-centers. Interestingly, the participants this time were not school students, but elderly people who could not go to school in their early days for obvious reasons, and currently learning under the Tamil Nadu government's non-formal education program. The Doordarshan Kendra Chennai also supported SRC by telecasting their programs, and Professor Nannan, a great Tamil scholar, used to conduct the classes for such people in television. Our VHF team arrived Madurai the previous day and started installing VHF stations in the centers already earmarked. It was a rainy day, I remember that, and at the main center in the university, I remember very well even today, we to Tango Sierra Juliet, Old Man Ranga, started climbing upon an Ashoka tree to fix the antenna and the cable, and because it was wet, he slipped many times and finally succeeded. Of course, in return, he had bruises in his chest and he did not mind it. The only thinking the entire VHF team had in those days was enjoying the fun and excitement behind successful execution. Professor Nannan and Madam Dhanalakshmi, if my memory is correct, Station Director, All India Radio, Trichy, were the guest of honors in the function held at Madurai Kamaraj University. After the formal inauguration, Professor Nannan started taking classes for the elderly students, and there was wonderful interaction between the adult students and the professor, who was already familiar with them through Chennai Doordarshan programs. The whole program was aired live by VHF team headed by Delta Papa November. While FSCT and MARS were busy planning for this program, the Red Cross Society of Tanjavur came to know about School on Air program, and the key person, if my memory is correct, his name is Raja Mahendran. I am not so sure. Approached us and requested for a School on Air program in and around Tanjavur. He also suggested us to have the program the next day at Tanjavur after the Madurai program was over. He had more than 6 centers in his mind, which included not only schools but colleges and polytechnic institutions as well. He took the responsibility of taking our VHF team soon after the Madurai program was over to Tanjavur. We had to plan and procure additional cables, power supplies, rigs, etc. etc. It would not be out of place to mention here that all these technical requirements were duly taken care of by V2 Delta Papa November Deepan. Hats off to him. I remember Madurai program was over around 10 p.m. and a jeep was waiting outside to take us to Tanjavur. One of our team members, V2 Alpha Papa Patrick Rudolphus, was not well, and the team had to take care of him. We reached Tanjavur around 1 o'clock in the midnight, and hardly we could sleep because the next day the program starts in the morning at 10 a.m. Usually, our practice is to visit all the earmarked centers the previous day, identify the proper location where the VHF station can be installed so as to receive, if not a 59 plus, or at least 58 to 59. After installing, we used to ensure that the communication is through at all centers. This itself will consume one full day, especially if the number of centers are more. But we did not have sufficient time in the case of Tanjavur. Within 3 hours, installation and testing should be over at all the centers so that exactly at 10 a.m. the program will start. We started around 6 in the morning. I was left alone in the Kundavai Nachiyar College for Women, where the inaugural function was to be held. It's a ladies' college and also happens to be the main center. Dr. Muthukumaran, Vice Chancellor of Bharathidasan University, was the chief guest. Other dignitaries included the Chief Educational Officer and the District Educational Officers, along with the Principal of the college. It was around 9:30 in the morning, and the communication from all the other centers started coming in, and they all said I was also 519. Suddenly, I could not get any station, and naturally, our friends from all other stations were panicking, because from the main center there was no transmission. Quickly, I started checking whether any loose connection was there in the cable or any cable short, and in that attempt, I received a severe RF shock. The time was 9:45, only 15 minutes left, and I was already informed by the college staff that the dignitaries started from the guest house and are on their way to the venue. My heart pounced back and forth. No point in tracing where the fault is. I removed the cable. Luckily, Deepan left a standby cable. I picked it up and connected that to the rig. Alas, the other end has to go to the antenna, which was on top of the first floor. I ran, climbed over the parapet fall, crawled at certain places, receiving some minor injuries, and got it connected to the antenna, came back running to the function venue and switched on the rig. Wow! All the other stations were calling me, and when I replied, "This is Vidu Charlie Sierra Mike from the main station. Do you hear me?" everybody had a sigh of relief. The guests arrived, and I could start my transmission only with the trembling voices. It's not possible for all the other stations how much my heart was pounding, and it took about 20 minutes for me to come to normalcy. What a fantastic experience filled with thrill. While the program was going on, the chief guest wanted to see how it's going on in other centers. A car was arranged, and along with him, other dignitaries also accompanied him. From every center, he used to call us through VHF, and he enjoyed the fun. Though I could not remember the names of all the centers, I still remember a few, which include Venkateswara Matriculation School, Pundi Sri Pushpam College, where the station was installed in the physics department, and Periyar Maniammai Polytechnic at Vallam, etc. On an average, a radius of about 7 km from the main center was the area of coverage. Despite all the initial hurdles and setbacks, the program went off very successfully, and the organizer, the Red Cross Society, was very happy. Needless to say, we also felt very, very happy. Many such school on air programs were staged after this at places like Kanchipuram, Sri Perumbudur, Kalapanaikanpatti, a village near Salem, etc. Whenever science exhibitions are organized, school on air programs also will find a place in the agenda. Some private schools wanted school on air programs exclusively for their own schools. The management of Velamal Vidyalaya was one such organization, and it has many schools running in and around Chennai having both state board as well as CBSE syllabus. We have conducted an exclusive school on air program for them, and Dr. Alagar Ramanujam, former principal NGM College Pollachi, was the guest of honor. Being a cosmologist, he delivered a nice talk on astronomy and cosmology and patiently answered all the questions raised by the students. Another feather to our cap was a request we received from Government of Tamil Nadu. As you are aware, every year 5th June is celebrated as World Environment Day. Our FSCT was in close contact with the Directorate of Environment, Government of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Balaji IFS, the then director, wanted to celebrate World Environment Day during his tenure in a totally different way. During the preliminary discussion, I suggested the school on airway. He could not understand it initially, and I explained it to him, particularly the modus operandi. He was very happy. I suggested him to be present in the conference hall of the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board. We had selected 5 centers covering both the northern part and the southern part of Chennai city. We had selected few schools from the central Chennai portion, and apart from the respective school students, general public were also invited to assemble. After the formal inauguration, the director briefed the participants the significance of World Environment Day. After his speech, the interactive session started. Both the students and the public asked many questions relating to the environmental issues from all the 5 centers, and the director was answering their questions. The program was supposed to last for 1 hour but got extended to another hour because of the many questions that kept on coming from all the centers. The director was also very happy because it gave an opportunity to him to interact directly with the students as well as with the general public. One of the centers selected was Maharishi Vidya Mandir, functioning at Chetpat, a place centrally situated in Chennai city. It is a CBSE school, and the principal of the school, Mr. Namasivayam, saw the whole program. In CBSE syllabus, in social studies, there is a topic on the role of amateur radio in disaster management. The principal wanted his students and teachers to undergo this training. He called me and asked whether it would be possible to train the staff and students for the ASOC examination. I said yes, but he doesn't like to lose the school hours for this program, as it is very precious for him and to his school teachers. With hesitation, he asked me whether it would be possible for me to come to their school around 6:30 in the morning itself, train the plus 1 students and few teachers with a science background, so that before the school morning assembly starts, the training will be over. It was indeed a tough task to me because about 10-kilometer distance is there between my home QTH and the school. Another bottleneck was there was no straight bus from my location, and I need to catch minimum 2 buses, sometimes it may be 3 also. Despite this hardship, I nodded my head and trained the students in Morse as well as theory for about 35 days. They all appeared for this ASOC examination, and many students got their licenses also. Such was my experience in ham radio and science popularization. My friend Veera Raghavan, VU3 Victor Echo Echo, used to represent Federation of Science Clubs of Tamil Nadu FSCT because he was the treasurer of FSCT, and VU2 Delta Papa November Deepan used to represent Madras Amateur Radio Society MARS and took care of the technical side. I represent both Science Club and Amateur Radio Club because I am a member in both the clubs. We used to sit together and discuss. Conceiving ideas will be from FSCT side, and the technical execution of that will be from MARS side. I used to coordinate both sides as I am a member in both the clubs. The common agenda is very simple. FSCT wanted science to be propagated. Mars wanted amateur radio to be propagated. These two organizations joined their hands for their mutual benefits. It was certainly a win-win situation, and all the programs conceived and executed were successful. And now I come to the end of this talk. I wish to express my deep sense of gratitude to Pune Amateur Radio Club for this opportunity. I was rather hesitating when VPR Vilas approached me because my interest was and has been always to inspire young minds towards science, and my experience in the technical side of ham radio is very low. Despite this, he said, never mind, you can share your science promotion experience also because it involves ham radio also. And that is why I am here today in front of you, and I thank him for this encouragement. Thanks to VU3 OUM Mangesh also for the suggestions as to how to go about today's program and for the technical side. And lastly, thanks to all of you, my dear shortwave listeners, for your patience and enthusiasm. Come and enjoy the world of amateur radio, and I am waiting to have QSOs with you on the air. With this, let me pull down the curtain, and my best of 73 to all of you. Bye.